hottest team in the Southern Conference? Our conversation with Mercer's Ryan Ritter starts now. All right, Coach Ritter, it is an honor to have you here on the SoCon Fast Break podcast, and we're excited because we're getting to talk to the coach with the most efficient, high-octane offense in the Southern Conference right now. The numbers you're putting up, it's absolutely mind-boggling, and sometimes it's almost like numbers as a coach you dream about, Coach Ritter.
Yeah, we're on a little bit of a hot streak offensively right now. So,
Yeah.
Man, it's an honor to be with you guys. It's funny, I'm sitting here looking at SoCon Fast Break in the back, and I pinch myself every once in a while, like I get an opportunity to be here and just speak about basketball. So appreciate you guys having me.
Oh, no question about it. It's an honor to have you with us here. And so the first thing that we do have to talk about, though, I do want to dive into just some of the numbers, because the numbers right now, just from an offensive efficiency standpoint, again, as I said, are mind-boggling. The numbers that you're shooting, and then also now you've had two players back-to-back SoCon Players of the Week with Baraka, Okojie, and Armani Mighty, and the numbers that they're putting up are absolutely ridiculous. So did you expect these type of outbursts and these type of production in terms of numbers for these players and not only this team, Coach?
Well, it's funny. Obviously, Baraka and Armani felt very strongly about them when we recruited them. Thought they had a chance to be, two of the better players at their position in the league. Now, if I said that I thought, we'd have guys having 29 points and 12 assists or averaging 19 and 19 for the week, I'd probably be lying on that one. But no, the truth is, man, those guys have been really good all year. They're getting better and better. We knew early on we had good players, and the kind of the follow up to your other question. I in the summer and fall, I actually thought we were much better defensively, and I sat there and said, guys, I don't know how we're going to score, man, but we can guard, and so I guess something flipped from June, July, August to January, and we got a nice little groove going offensively right now.
Yeah. So does it go back to all your aerospace studies there at Embry-Riddle that you were able to figure these things out?
Yeah. Direct correlation. That aviation and aerospace studies degrees going real into play on offensive efficiency.
That's right. All right. So what were you going to do if you weren't a college basketball coach with that type of degree?
It's funny. I actually get that question a lot. So when I was at Embry-Riddle University, my dad's actually the basketball coach there, and so I went there to play for him. And back then, they didn't really have a lot of diversified programs. It was just purely aviation, engineering, and so aerospace studies is actually kind of like a liberal arts degree from Embry-Riddle University. So it sounds like, man, you could go fly some airplanes. That's actually aerospace science. Mine is aerospace studies. So got a well-rounded education there, but I think it maybe sounds a little more impressive than it actually is.
Oh, well, you're a hooper at heart then. There is no doubt from that side of things. And speaking of that, I mean, your dad is well known, but also you have your brother there, Reed, and he was just named there to the top 100 most impactful mid-major assistant coaches by the Silver Wave Media. How special is that? Because I know as a former assistant, and Darren was a former assistant, and obviously you've been an assistant, sometimes they don't have enough recognition, at least in my opinion, for the coaches that are helping the head coach.
Yeah, I say it all the time. I mean, I've got a tremendous staff. I mean, obviously you mentioned Reed, but Jonathan was named. He was invited to the Top Connect this summer. One of the top, I think it was top 50 assistants in the country. So we've got some really good people on staff. And then in terms of Reed, it's always it's funny working with your brother. He doesn't get the credit, man. But if you really look back since he's joined us at Martin, came in, we won 19 games, helped us recruit Jacob Cruz, who's now at Missouri. We win 21 games, win the league. And then, it's a collective effort on our staff to put our teams together. But, he's definitely heavy in the mix, really recruited Baraka and Armani. And so there's no doubt that he's got a major impact on our program and helping shape. We talk about offensive efficiency. He does a lot on that side of the basketball. So happy for him to finally get some recognition, because he absolutely deserves it.
Yeah. Now at family dinner, are you guys have any type of rules where, okay, we're not going to talk basketball for the next hour, or does it ever get to a situation where you can even go an hour without talking hoops?
Well, this thing is funny. We all, my mom, my dad, my sister, my brother, all our families, we do a family vacation in August. And I think we set out to try not to talk about that. And even my brother-in-law who married my sister played for my dad. So he's a hooper too. So I think we set out to it. We go about 4 or 5 minutes into it and somehow it comes back to basketball. But no, it's definitely very lively.
Coach, you mentioned obviously having a great staff, and you mentioned building it at UT Martin. Talk to us a little bit about how you go about building a program, because this is now becoming a track record for Coach Ritter to be able to build programs and have quick turnarounds. This is not a coincidence, obviously, the turnaround that you have had in year 2 here. So can you talk to us a little bit about how you go about building a program when you come in? Maybe what are some of the core values, things that you really want to set the tone so that, you are able to do the things that you've done so quickly?
Yeah, it's a really good question. I think I was 28 when I got my first head coaching job at Daytona State, and was taking over a program that had won 6 games prior. And the first thing, and I said this the day I got the job, is I want to have great people around me, and it really started with hiring staff. I hired a great assistant back then. You only had one full-time assistant in JUCO. I say full-time, in the nicest way. But really, it's always been about people, and it's finding the right people, and then finding your niche at the school. So for us, we've got some certain non-negotiables. We're going to be tough together and unselfish. We're going to have guys that are great teammates. And as you're not negotiable, you have to have a flexible approach, because I think the way that you went at Daytona State, Bethune-Cookman, UT Martin, Mercer, it looks different. But we don't want to sacrifice on the teammate ability. We don't want to sacrifice on the toughness. But it may just look different at each spot. So for me, it's getting the right people around. Starts with staff. Building genuine relationships with your players and your staff, and then finding the niche that actually works at an institution. And so, obviously, would I like to had a better win-loss record last year in year 1. But I think, I remember like it was yesterday, I told our staff on the way home from ETSU, we lost at the buzzer last year, and said, man, it's taken me until February, but I really understand how to win here now. And I don't know if we're going to have enough time to figure it out this year, but I know we're going to have a great plan going into year 2. And I think obviously, we did a good job on the recruiting trail and having some early success right now, at least.
Yeah. Coach, what does it take to win in this league?
Yeah, it takes high IQ guys. It takes toughness. And it takes unselfishness. And when you look through the league, everybody's had a chance to win it, from your state schools to your private institutions. Like, it's not just been dominated by one form of basketball. If you look at the last 10 years, everyone has either been in the top 3, has been in the top 3 in offense and defense, with one outlier last year. Chattanooga was just unbelievable offensively. I mean, it was historic what they were doing. So there's been a balance, and it's not necessarily like, hey, this style wins. And I think sometimes when you just look at the league overall, yes, we're very good offensively. But if you look at the trend the last 10 years, Bucky had it really going defensively. Some of those teams, guys that have moved on, the Forbes, the Wes Millers, like those guys, it's been one of a variety of ways. So you have to find at Mercer, how do you do it? And I think we found an exciting brand of basketball. We play a little bit more up tempo than maybe the league's used to. And so, I think we found our niche, and we got to continue to do that.
Yeah. Does the defensive side, does that give you nightmares right now, though?
It's crazy. I'm dead serious. We played we won a couple games in a row, and I really felt like, man, Wofford, I thought we played decent defense, and they scored 97 points on our floor, and I didn't think it was that bad. And I would go watch the film, and okay, there were some things obviously you want to critique, but I'm telling you, man, every night, like, heck, we play UNCG and give up 92, and I'm like, man, I thought we were pretty decent for about 32 minutes. So the offense in this league it's something I'm not accustomed to, obviously, the last couple leagues I've been in. So kudos to the everyone in our league. But, man, we can really score the ball at a high clip in our league.
Well, yeah, and kind of expanding off that even more, Coach, the tempo that you guys play at, the reality is that just naturally with the tempo and flow of the game, teams are going to have more opportunities to score against you guys. And so where is that balance where you say, look, yeah, we did give up 90 points, but gosh darn it, we did play pretty well defensively for the vast majority of the game. Where's that balance for you? And is that something you guys are still potentially looking for, where you can score it, and that at some point you're going to have to get stops when they really matter, but understanding that the tempo that you guys play at, there's just teams are going to have opportunities to score. And as you talked about, it's a really good offensive league.
Yeah, and I don't think you can determine defense on points per game. It's like
Right.
it's like determining rebounding on total rebounds. What does that
Yes.
mean? If we play a higher tempo, we're gonna have higher rebounds. So, for us, it's still some analytical stuff. It's still points per possession. It's still, and even with us, effective field goal percentage. When you really look at the first 6 games, we've been pretty good in every area except offensive rebound percentage and then 3-point field goal defensive percentage. Outside of those 2 areas, it kind of gives us a target of what we've got to get fixed on that side. But for us, like I said, we're work in progress. We are playing well offensively, but defensively, we got a tight game at Wofford, 1-possession game with 4 minutes to go. We find a way to get stops, and same thing with VMI. We got a 1-possession game with 6 minutes to go, and we find a way to get stops. So I think we're better defensively than the numbers say, and hopefully we stay as hot offensively as the numbers stay as well.
Hey, it's a bend but don't break mentality sometimes also.
Yeah.
I know we refer that to football, but it can be in basketball also in terms of when you get some of those stops. And to your point, you're making some of those key stops when your team needs it. And then when you score 109 points, coach, you're in a better position. And we do know that. All right, what other stats, though, are important to you and your staff when you're evaluating things and you're building a scouting report?
Yeah, I mean, I think the first thing with us is it's not exactly stat driven. It's an identity based thing. We want to know who the other team is. What are they trying to do? Because sometimes stats are misleading, especially early on in conference. You've got some teams that have played a really tough non-conference schedule, have played a lot of high major games. Now, as we're getting into the conference schedule, we've got 6 like opponent games. So I think you can start digging into the numbers a little bit more. But for instance, we're going to scout someone. We're going to say, man, hey, their identity is tough. They want to get to the paint. They offensive rebound. Well, maybe they only offensive rebound with their 4s and 5s, and so there's certain things that we like to target first. But then I think then you got to dig into the numbers. Hey, is this a 3-point shooting team? Is this a team that gets to the free throw line? Is this a team that tries to turn you over? Are they heavy in the gaps? And then you use your numbers, based on that.
And now, have you had a conversation with Dr. Michael Cross at the Southern Conference, say, hey, the first 6 games, we've been on the road 4 times to start the conference slate. That's not an easy task right there, Coach.
Well, so I didn't talk to Dr. Cross, but I did gave a little nudge to Jeff Cade because, we had the ASUN challenge and hey, listen, I don't care who we play, but we had to get on a flight. And I was like, hey man, if we're going to get on a flight, you could have sent me down to Florida. But then I had to give him a little nudge. I said, listen, I don't mind playing 4 out of 6 on the road. We're going to play everybody, but we did have to go to Furman on a Wednesday, and then we came back, and then we had to go to ETSU. At least you could have gave us a Thursday, Saturday, or gave us something where we didn't backtrack. So, obviously, scheduling, man. Every coach is going to complain about it. I think that's what we do. But at the end of the day, we're going to play every team home and away, and our job is to be playing our best going into Asheville in March.
Coach, can you tell us a little bit more about the way you put this roster together? It looks like these guys genuinely enjoy playing together. Mm-hmm. The pieces have really fit. It seems as though the guys that you've brought in, and I think everybody says this, but it's harder to do, as you know, bringing guys that fit how you want to play. This group just really seems to enjoy each other and seems to really buy into what you guys have done. Can you speak to a little bit how you went about as a staff building this roster out?
Yeah, I'm glad to hear you say that because sometimes you don't know if that's what people are seeing from the outside. That's special because I feel it. The truth is we couldn't shoot the ball last year, right? Like we collectively couldn't shoot the basketball. So number one was like, hey guys, we got to go in to the portal. We got to go to high school. We got to go to JUCO, but like we got to find some guys that can put the ball in the bucket from the perimeter. So the thing was shooting, IQ and toughness. Those were the 3 things. And if you couldn't, you had to have 2 of the 3. And it's non-negotiable. If you had 3, great. But, for instance, Armani Mighty doesn't shoot the ball, but he's he's tough and he's got high IQ. So, hey, I think we're doing okay on that one. But, so what we did that was the 3 areas that we wanted to target. And then, in terms of fit, man, we got really good young people in our locker room. And I don't know if they're going to be there a year, 2 years, 3 years. But I know the 9 months they're guaranteed with us, they have freaking bought in to our program. And there's a genuine, like they like each other. They like playing with each other. They respect each other's game. And that's all great. The last thing's really important. Their games fit each other. And sometimes you can really like to play with someone but maybe it doesn't fit. We got guys that fit. We've got a point guard that can really maneuver the basketball. We've got shooting on the perimeter. We've got a 5-man that we can throw the ball to. And then we have elite glue guys. And so, yeah, I am excited about our team. We've got some confidence to us. I know there's a tough stretch ahead. But I think our guys are just growing and getting better. And it helps that they really do genuinely enjoy each other and their games fit each other.
Yeah, you can definitely see it, Coach. I promise you. I was there at that Furman game to start the conference slate there for you, and you could sense it there as I was right behind the bench. So there's no doubt. It seems like a lot of camaraderie, and you're talking about pieces fitting together, this jigsaw puzzle, so to speak. And what about Brady's shoulders, though? How important is he for this team coming in? I mean, he's a sophomore, obviously with you last year, but a team captain. And I just think when you say glue guy, he's one of those type of guys also.
Well, and if you ask anybody on the roster, hey, man, we're going to go in a back alley. We got to come out. I mean, I know Brady Shoulders is going to be the number one pick. Guys love playing with him. I mean, the truth is I recruited him to UT Martin, signed him there, got this job. He obviously got out of his release or his letter there. And I told him, I said, hey, man, we're moving to a new league. Like, you're the first guy I want to sign. I don't know how much you're going to play as a freshman. It's a step up. And he was like, all right, coach. And sure enough, starts 25 games last year, named team captain as a sophomore. He brings so much to the game, man. He can make a shot. He can guard the other team's best players. He brings a physicality. He brings a connectiveness. Guys love playing with him. Guys love coaching him. I mean, he's awesome. I mean, there's no other better way to put it. I could talk about him for the next 100 minutes, but he's been really, really good for our team on and off the court.
Yeah. And just even from a perspective, as we're talking about defense, also, who's your best defender on the team?
Man, it's funny. I think we've got a couple really versatile defenders. Obviously Zaire Williams is a tough perimeter defender. I think Brady Shoulders is a good defender. Connor Serven is as good as versatile defender as we have. Can really, I don't say this lightly, can actually guard 1 through 5. And then, I think everyone's got their spurts. I mean, Armani Mighty is averaging 2 blocks a game. I mean, he's tremendous. Baraka has nights where he can really, really guard the basketball. So I think we've got the capabilities in each position. It's just figuring out how to collectively do it while we're scoring the basketball.
Yes, that's still the most important.
Yeah, absolutely. Transitioning a little bit, Coach, what, when we talk about off the floor, what do you do to escape? What do you do to get away and just try to take a deep breath? I know how important basketball is, especially during the season with the new schedule. There's not much downtime, but what does Coach Ritter do when he steps away from the floor?
Yeah, so I love coaching ball. I mean, I really do. It's a blast to get to go in and put the puzzle together every day, but it's not even close in comparison to, man, I'm a family guy. Like I'm married. I've got 3 kids, brand new dog for Christmas for my oldest daughter, slowly becoming mine, but that's okay. But honestly, man, when I'm home, I like to be present. I like to turn off the phone. I like to be with them because at the end of the day, I'm going to be a dad. I'm going to be a husband for a lot longer than I'm going to be a basketball coach. And so it's traveling, it's, playing golf, it's, whatever it may be. I love being with them. I like getting home to Florida when we get a chance, but our family likes to travel. When you don't get to do it a lot, we got to pick our windows.
Yes.
when we do it. But pretty simple guy off the court. Just like spending time with them. And I like to golf when I get some free time, but I have 3 daughters that are 3, 5, and 7. So not probably the ideal age to play a lot right now.
Yeah. Where's number one? You can play one course. Where do you go?
Ooh, no, probably something overseas, just because I've never played golf overseas. St. Andrews, like something like that, just because it would be so different of anything I've done. Probably that.
Yeah. Okay. Now, have you had hole in one?
No, I have not. Now I say I like to play it. I didn't say I'm very good at it. So we actually played mini golf the other day.
There you go. Yeah.
I got one there.
That's right. All right. When's the last time you've been able to get up some shots? Or how often are you out on the court and say, hey guys, let me show you how to do it?
Oh, it's funny, man. So I probably shoot almost every day. And
yes. All right,
now I'm not saying I shoot a lot, but I have this really weird thing, and look it up. I was a horrid 3-point shooter in college. I mean, 19, 20, 23%. I don't know what it was. It wasn't good though. But there's something weird when I walk into the gym. My first shot percentage, I mean, it's a joke between our guys. Like, I got to be at 90, 95%. I just step in and it's cash. So like they start stretching. They're like, they can't wait. And I mean, I don't remember the last time I missed. Maybe it's less than I remember, but I mean, I'm telling you, I feel like I'm just cashed right now. So
I love it.
Yeah. So that's the thing.
All right. So there needs to be a coaches shootout at some point instead of maybe the, seeing what coaching staff can bench 225. Is that right?
Well, I know, I don't know, but the lights turn on, I might get a little nervous. I'm not ready to put that on display yet. So I think there's probably a couple other better players in the league than I was.
There you go. All right, Coach, just wrapping up here. I do know that you're a grill person. So what steaks are you putting on the grill? What's your favorite?
So, it's funny. I actually transitioned to I'm cooking a lot more on the Blackstone these days. So,
okay, upgrade, evolving a little bit.
Yeah. So I'm still learning that, but it's funny. This is the fifth house I've lived in the last 4 or 5 years, and so this move, unfortunately, a couple of the grills took a spill. So, I think the last time Christmas dinner we always do I do a big old fillet, and so I think I finally got the technique on the Blackstone where I feel comfortable that I can get that nice charred outside, but still get that medium rare on the inside. But that's what I'm doing right now.
All right. I like that a lot. All right. Last one then. All right. Getting ready for this week. What does Mercer have to do with the upcoming games to continue your stellar play right now?
We got to keep going 1-0 every day. And our guys are, they're detail oriented. They're coachable. They come with a clear mind. Every time that we step on the floor. So we got to continue to do that. Obviously, we lose our first 2 games of the year. Things can go different ways mentally. Well, now we're on a little bit of a win streak. Like, you can start doing some different things. Like, we can't allow ourselves to do that. And so for us, it's just, hey, what's the task at hand today? What's coach asking us to do? What's our staff asking us to do? And how do we get better? And then how do we display it on Wednesday night? How do we display it on Saturday afternoon or Saturday night? And so I love our preparation so far. Our guys are locked in, and I think we're going to continue to try to go 1-0.
Well, Coach Ritter, we greatly appreciate you being a guest right here on SoCon Fast Break and the hottest team in the SoCon right now. Best of luck.
Thank you so much. Appreciate you guys having me.
Yeah, thank you. And it's been fun watching you guys play this year.
Thanks.
All right, what a great conversation there with Ryan Ritter, and just a guy who understands putting the pieces together of this jigsaw puzzle for Mercer.
Yeah, he's really impressive. I mean, you can tell that to another guy that there's no surprise to me that they are doing what they're doing, and offensively, we can't talk about it enough.
No, we can't.
It is not easy to score 100 points in a 40-minute regulation game. This isn't the NBA where you got an extra 8 minutes.
That's right.
I mean, 100 points in a 40-minute game is high-level offensive efficiency.
No question about it. I know they're on the heater right now, and that's okay, because as a coach, you'll ride with it as long as you can.
Ride that wave, baby.
Exactly. Ride that wave. Also, you can ride the wave by following or subscribing to SoCon Fast Break. Do that through YouTube, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you get your podcasts, including the iHeartRadio app. Until next time, may all your jumpers hit nothing but the bottom of the net.